Have you ever imagined that the world's fifth-ranked football team could travel to South Asia to face a team ranked 138th in the FIFA rankings? It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet, that extraordinary moment is about to become reality. On October 3rd, football fans will witness one of the most remarkable international friendlies in South Asian football history as Brazil prepares to take on India at the iconic Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata. But this match is about much more than just 90 minutes of football. It is a story of football diplomacy, strategic planning, financial power, global marketing, and the incredible passion that millions of football fans in India and Bangladesh have shown toward the Brazilian national team for decades. So, how did this dream match become possible? Why did Brazil agree to play India? Why was Kolkata chosen as the venue instead of any other city in Asia? And perhaps the biggest question of all, if India can make this happen, why can't Bangladesh? Stay with us until the very end, because every answer reveals another fascinating chapter behind one of the biggest football stories in recent years. Brazil, currently ranked 5th in the FIFA World Rankings, will face India, a nation ranked 138th in the world. On paper, the difference between these two teams is enormous. Such a fixture would normally seem impossible because top national teams usually schedule matches against opponents of similar quality to prepare for major tournaments. However, international football is not always driven solely by rankings. Sometimes timing, planning, business, and diplomacy become just as important as sporting considerations. This upcoming Brazil versus India match is a perfect example of how those elements can come together to create history. One of the biggest reasons this match became possible is the FIFA International Friendly window scheduled for October. During these official international breaks, clubs are required to release their players so national teams can play friendly matches or competitive fixtures. Brazil had already planned a tour of the Oceania region, where they are expected to play 2 friendly matches against Australia on September 25th and September 29th in Queensland. Since Brazil would already be traveling across that part of the world, the Brazilian Football Confederation began looking for another nearby destination in Asia where they could play an additional international friendly without significantly increasing travel time or logistical costs. This is where the All India Football Federation stepped in with a carefully prepared proposal. Reports suggest that the Indian Federation had been working behind the scenes for a long time to make such a historic event possible. Rather than waiting for an opportunity to appear, they actively pursued one through strong football diplomacy and professional negotiations. Their goal was simple but ambitious: bring one of the biggest football nations in history to Indian soil and create an unforgettable sporting occasion. However, football diplomacy alone would never have been enough. Organizing a match involving Brazil is an expensive project that requires enormous financial resources. Various reports indicate that hosting Brazil could cost anywhere between 60 and 70 crore Indian rupees. This includes appearance fees for the Brazilian players, international travel expenses, luxury accommodation, security arrangements, transportation, training facilities, event management, stadium preparation, hospitality services, and several other operational costs. Simply inviting Brazil is not enough. The host country must guarantee that every aspect of the visit meets world-class standards. Fortunately for India, financial backing was never the biggest obstacle. India's corporate market is among the largest in the world, and many major companies understand the marketing value of associating their brands with global sporting events. According to reports, before making any formal proposal to Brazil, the All India Football Federation held discussions with corporate partners to ensure sufficient financial support. Only after confirming that the required budget could realistically be secured did they move forward with negotiations. This careful planning significantly strengthened India's position during discussions with the Brazilian Football Confederation. From Brazil's perspective, the proposal offered several advantages. The additional travel after Australia would be relatively short, the hospitality package would meet international standards, and the commercial opportunities would be substantial. For a football powerhouse like Brazil, these practical considerations matter just as much as the sporting challenge itself. Another major factor that worked in India's favor was the country's enormous commercial market. Brazil is one of the most popular football teams on the planet, with millions of supporters across Asia. Hosting Brazil creates massive opportunities for broadcasters, sponsors, advertisers, merchandise sales, tourism promotion, and digital engagement. Every company involved understands that a Brazil match attracts attention not only from India, but also from neighboring countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and many other parts of Asia where Brazilian football enjoys extraordinary popularity. This is exactly where sports marketing becomes just as important as football itself. Modern international friendlies are no longer organized solely for competitive reasons. They are global entertainment events capable of generating significant economic value. Television rights, sponsorship agreements, stadium attendance, online streaming, and social media engagement all contribute to making such matches commercially attractive. The Indian Federation successfully demonstrated that hosting Brazil would not simply be an expense. It would also be a valuable investment capable of delivering worldwide exposure. The Brazilian Football Confederation carefully evaluated these factors before making its final decision. Since the team would already be competing in Oceania, adding a stop in India made logistical sense. The financial package was attractive, the travel schedule remained manageable, and perhaps most importantly, Brazil would be playing in front of one of the most passionate football audiences anywhere outside South America. But another fascinating question remains. If Brazil agreed to visit India, why was Kolkata selected instead of Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, or another major city? The answer lies deep within football history. Kolkata has long been regarded as the football capital of India. The city's football culture stretches back generations, with legendary clubs like Mohun Bagan and East Bengal creating one of the most passionate rivalries in Asian football. Football is not simply a sport in Kolkata. It is part of the city's identity. Even more importantly, Kolkata has shared a special emotional connection with Brazilian football for decades. Millions of supporters in Kolkata and across neighboring Bangladesh have proudly followed Brazil through every World Cup generation. From Pelé to Zico, Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Neymar, Vinicius Jr., and today's stars, Brazil has inspired countless football fans throughout the region. That emotional bond became globally visible in 1977 when football legend Pelé visited Kolkata with the New York Cosmos to play an exhibition match against Mohun Bagan. The atmosphere surrounding that historic occasion left an unforgettable impression on everyone involved. Streets were packed with supporters, stadiums overflowed with excitement, and football fever swept across the entire city. Pelé himself witnessed firsthand the extraordinary love that Indian football fans had for Brazilian football. Nearly 5 decades later, that memory still carries weight. The Brazilian Football Confederation understands that few places outside South America can create such a passionate atmosphere for the Seleção. Choosing Kolkata is therefore not only a practical decision. It is also a symbolic one, reconnecting Brazil with one of its most loyal fan bases anywhere in the world.